The hell happened there?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 trustees. All right. Shall we begin? The first thing we have is a public hearing to amend the code. Dan, do you want to go ahead?
I'd be happy to. The local law amending Homer Code Section 201-11, water, other charges of the Code of the Village of Homer in Cortland County, New York. Be it enacted by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Homer as follows. The Village of Homer Code Section 221-11 is hereby amended by this local law as follows. Section 1, other charges that the Board of Trustees may assess. Subsection 221-11, other charges is hereby amended as follows. The Board of Trustees may establish or modify charges for water rents, penalties, and other such charges and fees under this section by resolution of the Board of Trustees, including those charges explicitly delineated below. 1, in the event that water service is terminated under subsection 221-10B and reconnected, or the pipe between the curb box and the meter is thawed by the village, a charge for such service shall be paid by the owner. 2, in the event that a property owner refuses access for entry under subsection 221-5 after proper notice is sent, the village may impose a penalty of $50 per month that access is denied. 3, any other charge or fee that the Board of Trustees deems necessary after proper notice and resolution. Besides the above amendment, all other sections and paragraphs remain unchanged. Section 2, separability. If any part or provision of this local law or the application thereof, if any person or circumstance be adjudged invalid by any court of competent jurisdiction, such judgment shall be confined in its operation to the part or provision or application directly involved in the controversy in which said judgment shall have been rendered and shall not affect or impair the validity of the remainder of this local law or the application thereof to other persons or circumstances. And the Board of Trustees of the Village of Homer hereby declares that it would have passed this local law or the remainder thereof had such invalid application or invalid provision been apparent. Section 3, effective date. The local law shall take effect immediately upon filing in the office of the New York State Secretary of State in accordance with Section 2.7 of the Municipal Home Rule Law.
All right. Does anyone care to speak on this issue?
Yeah, I since the last time we've spoke actually had a flood of calls pertaining to the article about this in the Cortland Standard, and it seems to me that several of the folks that called did try 2 or 3 different times to schedule with Buzz and wasn't able to do so. And it seems to be it was on our end, not theirs. So since that came out, they were like, what the hell, because of the headline, the way it read, and then read into it more. We're kind of like, well, I have tried. So why should we be punished if we have tried?
Yeah, well, clearly this is not designed to punish people who are actually trying to get their meter switched out. It's to incentivize those who are simply flat out refusing to do it.
Yeah, no, I get that, and I just wanted to say it because of the fact that there was some people that were kind of remiss because of the way the headline went, I think.
Sure. Yeah. But again, I hope it's clear to residents that we're not looking to find people who are actually trying to get this done. It's just there are those that won't ever make this happen unless we do something to light a fire under their butts, and this is what we're going to do. So
and that's more or less how I explained it. I just they wanted me to express their thoughts.
Yeah, good. No, that's fine. Yep. And I thought, I just want, Yeah, anyway.
Moving
Anyone
on.
else care to speak on this?
The right thing to do.
Yep, all right. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion that we accept the local law as written.
Oh,
I think
Kevin,
Kevin was good.
you were muted, Kevin. Still muted.
There you go.
Just a couple of residents came to me with the concerns because they're deathly afraid of this coronavirus thing, and they just have a fear of people coming into their house. But we need to reassure people that our guys are doing the right thing. They come in prepared, masks, gloves, they sanitize anything that they touch. So that fear should not be there.
They do, yeah. And honestly, Kevin, if in my thought, and you guys can let me know what you think, if we have residents who have a legitimate concern, and really, they have pre-existing health conditions or whatever, and they just are very,
Right.
we can push them to the back of the line, and go worry about replacing their meters next summer, when hopefully we're past.
I tried to tell them, you don't, all you have to do is answer the door. You don't have to speak to them. You can keep your distance, point to where the meter is, and our guys will go and do their thing in their professional way, and then they're done.
Right, and they're in and out pretty quick, so it really is pretty painless. So, but again, if they really do have a health concern, they should just contact us at the office.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
So,
All right.
do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Say nay.
Did you say nay, Tim?
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, hold on. Do we need to go to discussion on this? We didn't do it.
No, I had enough people express their concerns. I'm basically voting no as their voice.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get that, but if we don't have an incentive, then they're gonna say no forever and ever. And I kind of get that, and I get their viewpoint. I do, but I think if
No,
we
they're
don't,
just really offended by the fact that they're not like people that would not allow somebody to come in and do something what we're asking, and they're just kind of feeling like we've tried and tried and tried, and I know in the meeting when we last spoke, we said that many different forms of notification have gone out, but many forms of acceptance of them coming in hasn't happened either. So it's kind of a 50-50 in my eyes.
I
So
guess
what's your alternative?
Well, I just think we need to keep pressing on the public that this is a benefit to all of us for our costs in the village, and we need to get it done, but I don't know.
So your alternative is we got to go out and spend the $15,000 for the whole meter reader and hire people to go read meters until these people decide maybe not that they want a new meter. So you just added $20,000
How many do we
to
have left to
our new
do?
taxes this fall.
How many do we have left to do?
500.
Okay, so 500, and how many on average do we think we can even do a week?
That's
we'd
not
have
the
to talk
problem.
to
We have a $20,000 meter that was broken that we have to go buy, and
But
then we
we're-
got to go get somebody to go do the work. And so
But
you've
we're
added
able to make provisions for
$20,000.
people to push them toward the end anyway, because we're giving them slack for things like health concerns, for other concerns. But I don't know. I just
I
I'm
guess
gonna stick with no.
I feel like they could be offended or upset with us if we actually did fine them.
Well, and I explained that too. I said if we did find you, it would be retracted or whatever upon doing it. But to them, that wasn't the point. They were just really offended that.
see what they have to understand is it's not if they're. I get it. They're feeling offended because they feel it's targeted at them, but it's not. If they are making an effort to contact the village and get this done, then that they're not the target audience here.
Exactly.
The target audience
Sure.
here is those that keep avoiding pushing this down, never going to do it
Right.
unless we have this in place.
So that brings
isn't-
me to then when are we imposing the fines on the person? At what stage of the game?
I think it would come down to when we're down to those few that we've, because this isn't the first time we send out letters, we make phone contacts.
Once we get to the point.
That's what I'm saying. But these people have all received those and still haven't got their meters done.
But that's them. If they're contacting the village saying, "Hey, we want to do this," then that's on us, and they're not going to get fined for it. It's the ones that never ever call us back, that
It
don't
just seems like
contact us.
I don't know. I don't know. It
I'd
just
like a
doesn't-
list of those people to send their name in and have that list, so we'll have it. So we
I
can
mean,
understand their issues.
that's
Right
a good
now,
point.
I think we're babbling in the
Yep.
wind here.
But now we're
But-
talking about the same thing. This is ways we can get this done that can happen without having to fine or impose.
It also
Here's
depends
the
on,
go ahead.
go ahead, Pat.
All right. Here's the thing, Tim. If you give us, the residents, the constituents that talk to you, and you get that list to the office, I know Buzz will have them lined up like that, and then they're done.
Next week.
They'll be-
Buzz is who they talk to.
Well, then
Two.
it comes to us, and then we go, Buzz, what's up? And I wish he was online right now because then he could answer it for us.
Right.
But
And
we can
that's
track that.
Well, and that's just what I wanted to add. It's what kind of notification is that? If they're contacting Buzz, if they're leaving a message on the Newton Waterworks machine, that's one port of contact. Obviously, the paramount contact is calling 749-3322. So we're sending one of us an email. That's the paramount contact. So
Sure.
we'll get things done for them. I appreciate if they're not getting service from Newton Waterworks for whatever the reason, we can track that down and we'll figure out that whatever that problem was. But the quickest, shortest way to get what they need done, contact the village office, 749-3322. Talk to Dan, talk to Tanya, talk to Donna. We'll take care of it.
Well, the answer is we voted and we passed it.
Oh, we're still having. I mean, we didn't do the discussion.
It's
part,
not
'cause I
right.
think
We want Tim to go.
Discussion.
We want Tim in there, but it's not
Yeah.
right, but we did pass it.
But I mean, going back to that, at least we can get some resolution for Tim, the guys, the families that talk to you.
Right.
You can get some resolution on them, and then it becomes a non-issue again
And
for
I'm
them.
hoping they're watching.
Yeah.
Again, honestly, I don't see us starting to impose the fines until we get to a point where we've got a pool of people that just will not respond. And that's all we've got left.
Yep.
Are people that won't get back to us and then at that point, yes, we start the fine.
If we don't have anything to enforce this with this, there's no incentive for
Anybody?
for anybody.
Yeah, it penalizes everyone else.
And yeah.
We love you, Tim.
Right back at you.
Stand up, but they just need to call the main office and schedule it, and then there's no concern.
Okay.
It's just that easy.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on. Regular meeting begins. First up, approval of the minutes for the last two.
Dan, I'm sorry I didn't check this before, but on the 15 September minutes, under the DPW, I think we need to clarify that Mayor McCabe noted that it was the sidewalk that was as wide as beforehand. We're talking about the drain cover, and then Mayor McCabe noted it was as wide as beforehand, but I'm pretty sure he was not talking about the drain cover of the sidewalk.
All right.
Correct.
Tanya will take note of it and get it done.
Other than that, I make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous this time. Okay. Authorization of the payment of the bills.
I'll make
I'll
a
make
motion that we pay the bills.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Let's see. Okay. Let's see, treasurer's report. Hold on, scrolling down here. Okay. Long list of things that Tanya did. Do we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I'll make the motion that we accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous. All right. All right, I'm scrolling back and forth on my screen here to. Okay. Review add-on services. Oh, shoot.
That's a typo. I'll take responsibility for that.
All right. Okay. All right. So we don't make Fred wait. Fred, I see that you're on. Is there anything that you want to share tonight?
Other than the fact that we passed a preliminary budget last week with no increase in taxes, we're still waiting for the fire commissioners to meet. I think they tried to meet once and approve that part of it. Other than that, we're going to have a working meeting tomorrow night just to go over the budget a little more closely with the board and have a little time to hopefully to talk about there's a possibility that our clerk will be retiring within 6 months or a year. And so we just wanted to have some discussion on how we're going to go, what the vision is for the town going forward. So other than that, there's not a lot going on, Hal. We're just, I did talk to Pat today. I'm trying to set up a bridge committee meeting so that we can move forward with that, maybe resubmit the plan either through Barton and the Judas, or there's another engineering outfit that has approached us that actually does the plan without charge if they get the bid. So it's their payment is contingent upon us getting the funds, which I think is a pretty good deal. So
Yeah.
it happens to be a resident of the town of Homer that works for this company in Syracuse. So it's I think it's worth pursuing.
Sure, I agree with you.
So we hopefully we'll have a meeting next week, at least. And I talked to Pat about the 4 different options, and one of those I had already talked to you about. So I think that we'll have hopefully more to share in 2 more weeks.
Good.
But other than that, I don't have anything. But I appreciate the invitation and being able to speak.
Thank you. Yeah, no, you're always welcome. And I appreciate you coming. And you can stick around for the whole meeting or leave now. We wouldn't be offended either way.
Well, I've got some other things and calls to make, so I think that Pat told me this afternoon he was going to sing tonight, so I might stay for that. I appreciate it, gentlemen.
All right, thank you. Okay, next up we'll go to the reports. So let's go to the cemetery report first.
I'll make a motion to accept as written.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Okay, scroll back here. Codes. We have a motion on the codes report.
I'll make the motion that we accept it as written.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
He does a great job.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Dog control.
Only a Chihuahua.
They're feisty.
Yeah, I know. I guess it came out all right.
that a motion, Ed?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Second.
Of course, I'm looking for a Labrador, but
Discussion?
hopefully I can find one someday.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. DPW,
They've been busy. I saw them out there, putting the parking lot in front of the fire department today. So they had quite a crew there. So they're up to their ears as usual.
believe that's the case. Questions, comments, concerns?
I'll make a motion. We accept it as written. Oh,
I'll second and say we just have an outstanding crew.
We do.
Yes, we do.
We do.
agreed.
Well, thanks, guys.
Hey, there's one.
Oh,
of them.
that was you. Okay, we didn't know who that was.
Yeah,
All we saw is a phone
my,
number.
My laptop's not working right after they worked on it. So
Oh, I
gotta
got
get
a few
that
comments.
Oh, you do?
If you're
Great.
going to go away, I don't want you to go away because I got some things for you.
Uh-oh. All right, here we go.
Should we wait or do it now?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Thanks, Dale.
You're welcome, Phil.
Yeah.
No mercy. Hey, okay. Seeing I'm on the beautification committee, the community gardens, there's been some concern. As much as you guys at DPW have done a great job of getting at putting the new boards around some of the beds and what have you, some people were a little concerned about the pressure treated, the Woolman brand of pressure treated. Now there's a Woolman E, has a letter E on it, I guess. And it says that's okay for gardens and raised beds and stuff like that. We don't know. They were all priding themselves on being organic. So I don't know if you probably just use Lowe's, whatever it is, who the hell knows. But, take a look at it sometime and see if there's anything that, is going to poison anybody, which I certainly hope not. All right. So
Okay.
given that, don't do anything crazy in the meantime. We got spring. They've cleaned them up pretty well. They would ask that sometime add some topsoil to the beds because when they weed, they keep taking the soil out. So if we could get some of that sometime next spring, whatever. Remove the nibbler's garden. Nobody takes care of it. It's just weeds. Don't use that topsoil to go in the beds because it's full of weed seed. So maybe you can spread that around and nobody's going to use it. Take the boards down, take that apart. And they also said to remove the compost bin, which is that big wooden box there, because it seems like all they do is they throw their stalks of sunflowers in it, which don't biodegrade worth a bean. So that's again, that's just a weed thing again, and it didn't work. It was a good idea. So anyhow, next spring, whatever, don't do your good work in the meantime. Anyhow, that was that on that. Are you going to stick around for a while? Because I want to talk about the Little White Church.
Yeah.
You stick around or not?
Yeah. Can you still
Okay,
hear me?
then I'll stop right now then on that, and we'll talk about the Little White Church later.
Okay.
Over.
I just wanted to shout out real quick. Thanks to Jim Toolin. He let me use a couple of his guides today and tomorrow morning so I can finish the fire station. We plan on paving Thursday morning. So
Fantastic.
hopefully we'll get it done.
All right. Did we ever motion and pass that?
I think we did. No?
We did?
Or cemetery?
No, DPW.
DPW.
I
No,
don't
we
think
did
so.
not.
No.
I'm giving that to Tim. Tim.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
We
Okay.
gotta move it around a little bit.
Fire department.
No fire report.
No fire report. Yeah, Malin texted me. He blanked on it. He apologized. Yeah, no fire report this week. So, police department.
They had 480 stops this last month, and normally you would tend to think there's 400 or not stops, but I mean issues of all kinds. usually you would tend to think during the summer you'd have more activity, but that's quite a bit. So our guys are really, I hope it's not getting them in a lot of trouble. I mean, physically or, you know, something dangerous, but that's quite a few. So those guys are really working hard, and hopefully they're taking care, well, they are taking care of their community. So I'm very proud of them.
Yeah. We have a fantastic department. There's
Yeah.
no question about
You
that.
can talk to them, the community, there's no reason for anybody to ever be afraid of those guys. They're nice, nice people. They're out to help us all, so.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you were on the other phone. See, I don't know. Oh, there you are. Okay, I didn't even, I was complimenting you, hoping you weren't, didn't even know you were there. Sorry.
Oh, I'm here. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I know the guys appreciate your support and the board's support as well.
Well, I got to come down and meet them once this COVID thing gets over so I can go visit with them more, so I get to know them.
Your view has changed over the years, though, Ed.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. I used to be kind of an anti-police because they used to arrest me so much as a youth. Speeding mostly.
You weren't even around here then. What are you talking
No, I
about?
wasn't, but I tended to have a lead foot, which is now turned into lead. So, anyhow, moving along.
Very good. All right. Any other questions or comments for Chief Pittman while we've got him?
Well, I'd just like to commend Chief and Officer TK, who have been attending the governor's mandated EOC reform on spending their own time on Saturdays to sit through these this process. Takes a lot of dedication, and I just want to say we appreciate that for them being there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, you make us all look good in the village. You really do. I mean, you really do. You make Homer shine. So.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you.
Second?
I'll make a motion that we accept the police report.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Chief,
Right.
you don't have to stick around if you don't want to.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.
All right, recreation.
Hey,
I-
I'm here.
Zach on there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
There he is. Yep.
All right, I want to hear some of those humming cheers that are in your head. I did read your report, you know that now.
Yes, of course.
No,
for-
that's okay.
We have about 15 to 20 girls every night, and each one of them memorized a cheer of their own, and they take turns leading that cheer. So the squad does, 15 to 20 individual cheers, and they get into your head. You'll start humming them too if you come to practice.
It's all good, all good.
So softball's done. Went out with a bang. A really good season. Arts and crafts went well. We canceled cheer practice for tonight at a abundance of caution, out of an abundance of caution. And if we're able to do so, we'll start up on Thursday. And we did that because if you didn't hear, a junior high or intermediate school student tested positive today for COVID. Found out around 4 o'clock today. If we need to shut down the season, we'll do it. If we don't have to, we won't, but we're playing it by ear. Other than that, maybe doing some soccer at the, the J. McDonald's complex. That's up in the air at the moment. A lot of ifs right now, but everything's going well.
I'll make a motion to accept this report as written.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Yep,
unanimous.
Zach.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
Water and sewer report.
Is this a time to talk about DDS or not, or should we wait?
Yeah, we can talk about it now.
All right, I am absolutely livid about the meter going in front of the Dryden Bank. It's about the ugliest spot they could have put that meter. And if they continue on putting meters in front of our businesses right on the main street where people can see them or trip on them walking down the street, they're going to start ruining value of all the homes in Homer. And so I'm really upset that they did that. And I really would like you, Mayor or whoever, to have them move those meters to the sides of the building.
Yeah. So
Over.
I haven't seen it, Ed, but that's a good point, and I think that we will reach out to them because they were really good about.
I thought they were.
They were really good about moving the meters for the residents on Clinton. So I'm
remember
hoping that they'll be the same. Although, you know, I still have some, you know, folks that are complaining about their stuff not getting fixed yet, and I sent that on. We have our spreadsheet, our tracking system. I think the issue is you know, they got called out of town for a little while, and so they haven't been doing some of the repairs, but we'll talk to them about moving that meter.
Well, it's not, well, I'm worried about that one, but I don't know about the next one. You know, I'm just saying.
Right.
Sure
Yeah, well, we'll kind of just say, look, in general, try not to put them in the front. I agree with you.
Not try.
Yeah.
This is Yoda. No try, just do.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's exactly how the quote is, but that's pretty close.
Yeah. I'm not your father. Okay. All right, moving on.
All right. Anything else on water and sewer?
I would just like to mention that next week, Green Mountain will start to doing some of the lining work in the sewers with the shutdown to certain residents' laterals. So the first week notices have gone out. 24 notices will go out at the start of next week. But I have addresses are listed. It's not exactly nailed down to each and every house. These are just potential houses mostly. Depends, because the work is a little bit fluid, no pun intended. So of exactly who needs to be shut down and why and when. But the work is coming, so residents and board be prepared. You know, if there's confusion, call the office, please. We will settle it down and take care of it. But when they're doing their work, it's, you know, it could be up to 8 hours for the day. A good long work day, well, that you can't or have extremely limited use of anything that's going to go into a sewer.
Get a bucket.
Yep.
Dan, how are they going to notify the residents again?
It's they've done kind of a one-page letter stating that work will be done on your streets next week on said day, and the week that work starts, the 24-hour notice stating the exact same information will go back to that same resident saying we will be here tomorrow to do this work. Please refrain from your sewer use while we're here, and we'll try to do it as fast and as quick and as efficient as they can.
I mean, I just wonder if there's going to be like a door hanger or something.
It's letters in their mailboxes.
Okay, thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions, concerns on sewer?
I'll make a motion that we accept the water and sewer report.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. All right, the next up is the shared service agreement. Is that correct? Let me go way back to the
Privilege of the floor.
agenda. Hold on. Oh yeah, privilege of the floor. Anyone? Anyone? Privilege of the floor. Anyone want to speak? Anyone on YouTube?
Free on YouTube, but no questions.
No questions? Okay. All right. All right. Yep. I see. Approved budget adjustments. Next.
Which is a small one.
Yeah, it's
I'll
one of the
make-
smaller ones.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve the budget adjustments. The only reason I do that is because Pat and I were in there going over them today, so that they were pretty, you know, I think on spot, so. I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, that's okay. Next up, approve the shared services agreement with the Department of Transportation.
This is kind of a standard shared service agreement. I think it's been in effect for quite some time. I believe we have done it in the past. I do not know if we have a current. I tried looking for a one. I don't believe we have a current one right now, but this is also being put up by the state with regards to COVID problems. If community has problems with their Department of Public Works goes down because of too many cases and everything else, then this agreement kicks in another municipality helping them out and or the state helping them out and vice versa.
Smart. That's smart.
Just so you know, you have a choice of doing it for 2 or 4 years. I talked to the supervisor at Preble, and they did theirs for 2 years. So that way they could make changes after a couple of years if they wanted to.
Yeah. 2 years sounds like the way to go.
I'm good with 2 years.
So am I. It's an easy thing to fix or add
Right.
to or renew. So yes, 2 years.
All right.
I'll make the motion that we approve it for 2 years.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Approve resolution for Tompkins County Health Consortium and MCA agreement.
Well, if I'm going to go, everyone tuck in. This one's a little wordy, so
Yeah.
I'll go as fast as I can. Approval of the 2020 and 2021 amendments to the municipal cooperative agreement for the Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium. Whereas the Village of Homer is a participant of the Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium, a municipal cooperative organized under Article 47 of the New York Insurance Law. And whereas the municipal participants in the consortium, including this body, have approved and executed a certain municipal corporation agreement, the first one effective date October 1st, 2010, and the 2020 and 2021 amendments that provide for the operation and governance of the consortium. And whereas Article 47 of the New York Insurance Law and the rules and regulations of the New York State Department of Financial Services set forth certain requirements for governance of municipal cooperatives that offer self-insured municipal cooperative health insurance plans. And whereas the agreement sets forth in section Q2 that continuation of the consortium under the terms and conditions of the agreement or any amendments or restatements thereto shall be subject to board review on the 5th anniversary date upon acceptance of any new participant hereafter. And whereas by motion 005-2020 and 008-2020, the consortium's board of directors recommends the approval of the 2020 and 2021 amended agreements based on review of the document by the Governance Structure MCA Review Committee, the New York State Department of Financial Services, and the consortium's legal counsel. And whereas the municipal cooperative agreement requires that amendments to the agreement be presented to each participant for review and adopted by its municipal board, whereas the Village of Homer is in receipt of the proposed amended agreements and has determined that it is in the best interest of its constituents who are served by the consortium to amend the agreement as set forth in the attached 2020-2021 amended municipal cooperative agreements. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Village of Homer approves and authorize the Chief Executive Office to sign the 2020-21 amendments to the Municipal Cooperative Agreement of the Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium, and resolved further that the Treasurer of the Village of Homer is hereby authorized to execute this resolution to indicate its approval, transmit a copy thereof to the Board of Directors of the Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium, and take any other such actions as may be required by law. You guys have a whole all the amendments and the agreements there in your packet as well to comb through at your leisure. It's a nice read.
Yeah, it went on forever, I know.
We have a motion?
I'll make the motion that we accept it because it's good for the village employees and it saves us money and it's a good thing.
Very true.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, all right. Approve resolution to offer the same health plans for Tompkins County Health Consortium for 2021.
Right. Approval by Village of Homer to add and or delete health insurance plans to its plan. Whereas the Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium has a menu of medical and prescription benefit plans available to participating municipalities. And whereas participating municipalities are required to notify the consortium of any change in its plan offering to employees or retirees by October 15th. And whereas the Village of Homer has discussed and wishes to offer a plan, now therefore be resolved That the Village of Homer hereby approves offering the consortium's Platinum Plan effective January 1st, 2021 as a health insurance plan option for its employees and/or retirees. Resolved further that a copy of this resolution shall be submitted to the Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium.
We just approved that. Now this applies it to the employees. I make the motion, we accept.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right. Well, that wraps it up. Dante, do you have anything for us?
No, I don't. I missed the first about 6 minutes of the meeting. Something was wrong with the audio. Did you guys talk about the purchases at Route 11 and how that? Oh, okay.
We have not.
Okay. Well, I'll leave that to you because that's finally over with. We are waiting for some of the title work to come back to get the reimbursement started, but about half of it's back. So the other half's going to take probably another 2 to 4 weeks to get the package together, but we're working on it.
Good.
Good job, by the way. Boy, we've been working on that for years. So that's a good thing.
It was literally the first job Hal gave me when I started. So I've been there for all.
Well, thank you for sticking with it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's a big thing. So, all right. So let's go around with the board members. We'll start with Ed. What do you got, Ed?
Okay.
Phil's still on, ready for Ed?
Well, I have two things, one for Phil and one for just discussion with maybe passing it on to the DEC. Down on before the Albany Street Bridge, there's a new bank being pushed up against the river. I don't believe you're allowed to raise banks on the river above what they are. So somebody needs to let DEC know that there's not a ditch, but a berm being put up along the river. So that's probably not legal or right. Anyhow, so I'll leave. Who should do that? Anybody? Me? Call the DC. Who wants to be the pain? You, Hal? Dan? Somebody? I've sent pictures of it.
Did you?
Yeah, I sent them to Dan.
Okay.
Yeah, happy to pass along and be a pain, sure.
Well, I'm not sure that, if that person can get away with it, then I want to have it for the river trail. I don't think that's right. So, because I know the river trail won't allow that either.
Yeah,
but anyhow,
there may be illegal work. So,
yeah, it's just a phone call to have them look at it, and maybe nothing. But I don't know. All right. Phil, Little White Church.
Yep.
We only had, I guess, one other suggestion after we asked last board meeting for ideas on how to help. Remember, we don't have enough money for the $400,000 quotes we got. So I'll tell you one thing that I'll do. I'll volunteer to build the bathrooms and the kitchen with, say, DPW or some of your carpenter guys in the water department, your department, to have some skill. And I would be willing to propose that we would pay you the time and a half for Saturday and Sunday to work with volunteers that we would get from the community, because that gets community involvement. And there's a lot of people that can, build and do things, I think. And then you guys don't have to be the same person, so nobody gets tied up every weekend. But we could do that on some kind of a floating schedule, kind of like Habitat for Humanity does it. They have a leader, and then you get volunteers to do things. And so we could probably do a lot of the work on the Little White Church to get it operating. I would recommend, like, the steps are a big chunk of money, is go over there with a bobcat and save the steps as the pieces and parts that you can. get a precast concrete one and just place it in so we can get it to operate. So yeah, it's not pretty, it's not right, but at least it allows us to move towards opening a little white church with have front steps and a rail. Yeah, maybe it'd be construction grade railing, but you know, hey, we can do something. So anyhow, that's a thought that I have for the little white church, and it gets us operating, and I'm back from camp, so I'm available. So
I love that idea. I think it's a great idea. Phil, didn't we look into a precast thing, a set of stairs? There was a reason we couldn't.
Well, it's not right.
Yeah, I think
they look
I
horrible.
think Buzz was working on that. I think he had some information on that actually. I think it was from down there past Marathon at
In the WOG.
Yeah, at Kilowog.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that if we can do the precast thing, I think that's not a bad idea. And I think would be possible to probably get the bathrooms done, and maybe even that back entrance with the ramp using volunteers and DPW and water and cemetery, you know, whoever wants the time and a half, it'd still be.
Well, it's a good deal for them because they get time and a half and benefits and retirement benefits, and man, it should be okay. And that no one person's got to do it every weekend.
I think we probably still need to bring in a professional to shore up that one wall, though.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, so I was doing some thinking about that as well. Like, so would some of the monies we have aside be able to pay for an actual drawings to build that wall?
I think we have them, don't we? That's part of.
You have them already?
Yeah, we already have that. We already have
Okay,
it.
so I didn't realize we already had those. So my point is couldn't we possibly reach out to, like, say, a BOCES program or a labor organization, maybe the carpenters, to see if they have any apprentices or young kids in BOCES that would be interested in learning the trade and physically hands-on doing that wall?
That fits right into what I just said. I'm all for it.
I think maybe for the other part, but I don't have a good grasp on exactly what is wrong with that wall, and I can't read a set of plans to save my life. So I don't know.
Because in those BOCES programs, I've done a lot of presentations for our electrical, and there's always been the other trades there as well. And those kids are learning how to use drawings and everything during their time in BOCES.
A contractor did reach out to me a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't had time to, because I was gone all last week, but haven't had time to touch base with him again. But he offered talking about a donated services project. I believe he even mentioned BOCES folks to work with him. He's done this before with other municipalities coming in and do the work, not doing the entire project, I would assume, but maybe doing bits and pieces of it. So let me touch base again with him. We'll sit down and have a meeting and see what exactly they're willing to do.
There you go.
I could be a kind of village liaison during the week, saying I'm retired. So, because they're at school hours, so I could actually at least be the village. Not that I can inspect anything, but we got a codes guy to check. But I can read drawings. I got an engineering degree, so I think I can do it. So.
Well, coordinating when these folks would come in is a big portion of the whole thing. So if you could take care of that, I'm sure that
I might. Yeah.
Dan.
I'm back.
Nope.
Camp is over.
Camp is over.
Yeah, pulled the boats out yesterday. So yeah, we got to come up with something. I mean, it's going to rot. It's going to, we got to get it so the community can use it. Once this COVID thing is kind of under control somehow, where we can actually get back to a normal life. That's a beautiful spot, and we could do a lot. But we got to move. We can't just let it sit there and rot away. But I would recommend we put money to whatever it takes to fix the roof or ladder job. I won't climb on ladders. After 50, you shouldn't be on ladders. So, but anyhow, I'll do anything I can construction wise. I believe I'm competent to do it. So, but I'm not a quote unquote contractor.
Right. All right. Anything else said?
No. I whined about the river.
Yeah.
The gardens.
Yep.
The the gas lines.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I'm done.
So do you want me to hold off on
Oh.
asking a couple of these guys on this? Sorry.
Yeah.
Then we hold off till we get more information.
Yeah, hold off on a little bit and we'll formulate a plan and everything, Phil, but,
Okay.
you know, keep it in your mind, because I do think it's not a bad
Okay.
Well, that
Right.
contractor that offered services, that could be a key right there. So
Yeah.
as soon as Dan reaches out to that guy, then maybe that'll be the answers we need.
We have some money so we can pay a contractor.
But I do think we've got to get that wall fixed.
Yeah.
Well, let's work on that first then, but I'm not climbing ladders. I can stucco, I can do a lot, but I'm not gonna climb on high ladders, sorry.
Got it. All right, Pat, what do you got?
As everybody knows, we've got the, as Dante mentioned, we got the Route 11. But I think we just need to clarify our next steps to move forward for the RFP for demolition.
Okay.
Get that going. Fred already mentioned the bridge committee, so we'll meet on that, and I'll report back after we meet on that for the Wall Street Bridge. Sent an email to give General Code a nudge. Haven't heard anything much since we submitted things to them. Expecting something in the near future. Same issues with DDS. I know we've got our tracking matrix, but I think it's time for another meeting to discuss these things.
Yep.
Some questions were brought up about the James Street with the handicap parking spot and the parking spaces. I think until that section of James Street gets repaved after they've, where the gas lines went in, we shouldn't do anything until that gets resolved. And I think with that handicap thing, I was talking with Phil. Phil, you're on, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that I don't have a solution, but there's been some issues about that handicap in the cement pot, being moved around or falling over in a wind or whatever. I don't have any, I don't think putting it in permanently is the answer, but I don't know if keeping it as is the answer either.
Okay.
So
yeah, I just figured in the wintertime we could move it. That way it's out of our way for plowing too. I could set it up against. You talking behind Homer Men's and Boys, that parking lot?
No, this is the one on James by
Dashers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That 5-gallon bucket with the sign in it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean, we could drill a hole, but I just didn't want to put like a permanent one in there because it would definitely be in the way. It just end up getting broke too. So
right.
Yeah, I think it's the unfortunate. I don't know of any other possible solution.
You could put a pipe in the ground and then put the pipe in it and put a pin in it and then unbolt it and pull a post out in the fall. And that way it'd be level.
Yeah, but
we kind of have a sign.
We still have to have a sign during the winter.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I just bring that up because I know it's been mentioned before. I just want to let the people know we haven't forgotten about it. We just don't have an answer quite yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I have.
And the Route 11, the RFPs for the demolition, Toma is working on that, I assume, correct? They are the one who's managing that whole grant process.
That is correct.
Oh yeah. So we'll nudge Rich and see where we go from there. Kevin, what do you got?
Well, I'm just so happy to see the Route 11 project coming to fruition because I was part of it when it first started and we got off on a bad foot, but we hung in there and we kept the lines of communication open. And here we go. We're getting ready for demolition.
It's good news.
The other thing is I've been around these parts for quite a while. I've never seen this much activity in the village of Homer in my whole life.
Yeah.
All of the things that are going on are amazing. And I guess kudos to you as our fearless leader to keep everything under control. But with our wonderful administrative staff,
yes,
everything seems to be coming together.
Yeah, we have an amazing team. So
I mean, the village was torn up in every possible way for a long time, but everything seems to be just coming right back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim, what do you got?
Nothing. Mine was basically with the white church.
The white church. Yep.
Yep.
Good deal. All right. And all right, we're going to go into executive session, but before that, I open it up to the media for any questions.
I don't have any.
Mayor Hal, I have 2 questions.
Sure.
One is that your motorcycle, or did you green screen it in? And the second is, how does Dan Egner make a avatar look so handsome? And that's it. I'm actually good.
Okay.
I'm going to bed now.
All right. Go to bed.
All right.
Yeah, I know I owe you the response to a couple emails.
Text messages, but it's no big deal. It's, I don't feel shaded.
Oh, it's okay if you respond to my emails too.
I will. I know I owe you responses. I will.
Yeah, please, on the Red Sea one, I really need a response sooner rather than later, at least on that one.
Well, I can tell you right now, there is no indication whatsoever that there's going to be a Red Sea this year and that there will be any fun. I mean, we've passed the application deadline was months ago. So there is no Red Sea this year, which is a bummer because we had an amazing proposal to submit. So we'll just keep our powder dry and submit it next year, and hopefully things will be better. But
so the village was actually submitting an application for a project.
Sure. Yeah, we were gonna resubmit again for phase 2 and part of phase 1 for our complex river trail kayak extravaganza.
Okay.
I don't know what our official name for it was, but
Something about fly fishing.
That's the one is that the one you guys did last year? I actually, you know what? I foiled for applications that people put in, so I'm sure I have it.
Yeah, so we applied, and it's the kind of common, you just have to keep applying until you get it. So, and you just improve your application every time. So this year, one of the things that we focused on to improve it was making sure that we got the LWRP completed. So Ed and Dan have been pushing hard on that, and the city and Portlandville are coming along, and so hopefully that'll be done soon. And that'll get us more points. But
any indication about next year, funding for next year, given that economic state we're in?
We don't even know what cuts are going to come this year of the potential for 20% cuts.
Okay.
They've been literally, I'll just say it, they're waiting until after the election. The governor's waiting until after the election, assuming that if Biden wins, then there will be direct payments to municipalities, and if not, then I guess it's Plan B. So
I'm hoping
I
that the
can't
state
wait
will
to
go
see
into
what-
debt.
I can't wait to see what Plan B is.
Plan B is not going to be good. Plan B is going to be painful. We know that we'll lose AIM funding, a certain amount of AIM funding, a certain amount of the extreme weather storm recovery funding, and what they do with sales tax kind of goes up in the air because they've got flexibility when it comes to the sales tax collected for internet purchases.
Okay.
And then cuts, to different programs and things. So.
All right. Well, thank you. At least I was able to get you this way.
Yeah. And the same goes for the DRI. There's not anything, but we'll continue to refine ours. We've got an amazing DRI proposal that we're putting together. So we're going to submit that next year, and we're going to knock the socks off of them.
I might email you a little more about the DRI proposal,
Sure.
just to get a little bit better in-depth understanding of where you guys stand on that. So just a heads up, but the next couple of days I'm swamped, so don't expect it. Maybe it might not be this week.
Okay. No
I
problem.
just had a county budget release, so I got a lot to do.
Oh, that is a lot.
Yeah. But thank you guys. Oh,
Thank-
and just what are you going into executive session for real quick?
We have an employee issue that we need to discuss.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Don, you got anything?
Yes. What is the status of Halloween in the village this year? I have not heard anything regarding the police chief's plans, or if the fire department is going to, as they have in the past, do their X-ray inspections of goods, of candy and stuff, and anything else.
Talk to Chief Irish about that. I don't know if they're planning on doing that or not. As far as trick or treating, we take our cues from the governor. Whatever he says is how we'll run it. And at this point, he has said it's acceptable. It's up to people what they do. I think it's going to be a rough year for trick or treaters. I feel bad for the kids. It's just I think there will be a lot of lights on, but it's not anything that we're not gonna step in and shut it down unless the governor does.
I got an idea on that. What do you
Yeah.
say we get people to drop, say, maybe get the senior center? Is that still open? Senior center? No, darn. I'm thinking of having people just drop a bag off of candy or something, because it could be socially clean and what have you. And we just make little bags, like paper bags, and then have the kids just come by the front steps of the town hall or something and just pick a bag off, and that's trick or treating for the year. That way they don't be, socially screwing around with people's health and whatever, knocking on doors. Just an idea. And that
Sounds
way,
like
maybe
a-
fire department, maybe they just come, they have a big couple of 8x10 tables and they just come by and grab a bag. Maybe people could, I don't know, just an idea.
The Homer Elks has announced that they're having a trunk trick or treat where people will bring their cars, their vehicles to the Elks Club, park, open up the trunk with candy and so forth in it. I think I reposted that on the Homer News website or Facebook page. But other than that, I just was curious. I know that there are several other issues with vandalism in the village, so I imagine the police department will be busy that night anyway.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Maybe we just bring, tell people to, drop a bag off at the Elks or something. Maybe they have a container and you could drive by and just, push it out a window into a container, and then they could, repackage it or something safely with, PPE kind of stuff. And
I think the Elks plan is that anybody that wants to participate, just bring their vehicle and distribute out of the trunk of the vehicle. Kids can come up and just take something out of the trunk. So don't leave any valuables there.
Yeah, I guess, if people want to do that, it'd be safest to make a little bag so that the kids can just grab a little bag and go. They don't have to reach their hands in or anything like that.
I don't like that idea.
All righty. Anything else? Anybody? Before
Can
we go?
I tag along to executive and just say something real quick about
Yes, you can.
cheerleading? All right, thank you.
All right. Can we have a motion to go to executive session to discuss an employee